Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. I thought I would cover this procedure, just a short video, because it causes quite a lot of issues and also splits a lot of opinions, and it basically is putting the hub nut on and getting it torqued to the correct torque. Different torques depending on the CV joint you've got. This is the single split hole, and like I say, it causes a few differences of opinion. Now the method I've always used is the one in the Haynes manual, and I found it always worked for me, so I thought I would do this quick video just to show how I do it. Now a common mistake people make is just by putting the new hub on. If you've replaced the discs or brakes or suspension, you'll have to do this. Coming off, I use an impact gun and it just brings it straight off. Putting it back on and getting it torqued up, a lot of people make the mistake, they just put the cone washer straight in, the nut on, and start tightening, and they can never get to the correct torque. Now the reason for that is because when this tightens, it's not a straight edge, and it needs the force on this straight edge to get it all forced back, pushed in and in place. If it's not tightened to the right torque, the wheel will vibrate about, you'll have no bearings in no time, and it'll lock up, and that's not even considering the whole safety aspect of it. So the way I created this tool that fits over here, as says in the Haynes manual. This castle nut goes over the top and it gets tightened down to the correct torque. Now the torque rating for this is somewhere between 255 and 270. Now there's a range because you tighten it, and these notches in the castle nut have to expose the hole in the CV joint because this split pin has to go through that hole. Now you will need a torque wrench that goes up to those specific settings because the standard ones don't, and the ones that go up higher are obviously a bit more expensive. I invested in one. I'm not going to compromise on safety. I would suggest anyone doing this does the same. Please don't guess what the torque is. If you've not got one, take it to someone else and get them to do the job. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. So if you tightened this up just now, what would happen is the wheel would spin because there's nothing holding it in place. What people do, or what I've done, you can put the wheel back on. If you can get to this, you lower the car, you can use the weight of the car and it'll stop this spinning. What I find better doing, and quicker, is jamming this in place against the ground, or people make tools that hold it in place, because you have to be careful with the threads not to damage the threads on the studs. But once you start turning this, it'll lock and you should get enough grip to get to the right torque setting. So I've got this here, that's what I'm going to use. I've set up the torque wrench. I'm just going to tighten this all the way to the right torque setting, keeping an eye out for the hole for the split pin, and it does take quite a bit of force, but it's what's needed to hold it all in place. The torque wrench I got was Sealy. I think this cost me about £80, thereabouts, and the standard size for the hub nut is 1 5/16. Get this tightened up. Like I say, you can make a tool for that, or you can put the wheel down. Personal preference. That's torqued up. I know all of this is pushed back and held in place. I now need to get the castle nut back off, the spacer off, and I can get the correct setup in with the cone washer. So same procedure again, but this time it's for good once it's in. The difference being this time I need to keep an eye on the hole to make sure it's clearing these spaces here. So we can see it's tucked up there, but the hole is just underneath here. So I need to wind this back slightly to enable to get the split pin through. And that's enough there. And the new split pin. You should always use a new split pin. There we go. That's how I do it. Happy to hear anyone's comments. I'm sure people have got their own techniques. Like I say, this is just the way I've found easiest, and I thought by showing it, it might help someone out there.